I was this close to the weekend. This fucking close to the weekend. And here y'all gonna throw me in the group chat with some bullshit. And I'm gonna talk about it. Alright, you white motherfuckers. All eyes on me. This is the I Refuse podcast. This is Mr. Fox, the I Refuse podcast. Yesterday, I left to go get some Mission Barbecue to feed my African American household. Came back to some mess. Speaking of crashing out, if you are a woman currently in the throes of a situation that involves kids with a man, and you are the party that wants to get back with him, please do not hurt the kids. At this point, when it comes to relationships, dynamics that involve kids, male and female situations, we might as well just lock up the dick behind the counter. Like they do the shampoo and shit at Walmart, and the hair care products, and the shit in Target, like all kinds of shit. Look, the number of things have gone up that are now in under lock and key. You won't have to add dick to that list. You know, ever since the pandemic started, I've been seeing a lot of people crashing out. And for Chianti means to this past Monday night go up to Luna Falls, which is part of Niagara Falls, with her 2 kids in her arms. 9 o'clock in the evening, go over the railing and take her kids with her. Leading up to that, because her baby daddy didn't want to be with her anymore. And in the days leading up to that fateful night, she had been posting things. Throughout October, at some point, it looked like she was relieving herself from the emotional aspect and redirecting her path to alternate ways of healing, right? But then Monday night happened, and it is sad all around because, you know, the kids didn't ask for that. And for a lot of women on the outside looking in, the comment sections definitely saying that she took the kids to hurt the man. Which I agree with. You know, it's one thing to seek attention. It's one thing to... I hope you don't mind I'm being real with y'all, given that this is a mature audience. Just never know, somebody in the comment section might be in their feels. Take it up with your therapist, not with my video. It's one thing for you to seek attention, which that's what social media is for. it's another thing to, play out this this one-sided drama on social media for us. But it's a new level when parents, whether it's the mother or the father, taking their kids to death with them, or in some cases, just taking the kids to their death. Like that's wild to me. Um, One was barely 10 months. The other was, I think, 7, maybe younger than that. It it's just it's just not worth it. Now I don't know the particulars as to her background or this guy's background, um, but it's just not to crash out with your kids over a dude. And have you ever noticed lately? I would say, like even the last year or so, mothers. There are some mothers out here that are offing their kids for over some dick, interfering with my ability to get some dick. You gotta go. Interfering with the time I could have got some dick. You gotta like. I could not imagine. Um, they say that this lady worked in the area as a domestic abuse counselor. Um, Now, I don't know how much of the stress from that job played into her own mental health or her well being. Um, but there has to have been like a village of some folks, some family or something. I can't even get through this. Some of this. You just gotta look out for women, especially like single black moms holding things up on their own. Like I said, I don't know the particulars of her personal life, what what home life was like. But there is not a dick big enough in this world worth taking your kids with you on a suicide mission. They don't deserve that. Like it's almost like the same logic I have when people come at people, shoot them, and then shoot themselves. Now everybody did. And yes, it may be insensitive. Hell, it is. But what do kids know? Why involve kids at all in anything? Especially something as crazy as that. Like so many stories have come out the last 5 or 10 years involving parents and kids where whether it's their own kids or kids they adopted, it's just something is just not right. And it's like where are the people to talk, talk to people and get them off of the deep edge. And you may not like some of what I've said. However, this podcast is for mature audiences only anyway. There is definitely an air of spite in this. And I'm going to just play devil's advocate, throw some theories out there, right? Let me scoot a little bit closer. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, baby daddy had a new girlfriend. Baby daddy was happy. Given that the youngest was not even a year old, it tells me that he moved on relatively quickly. Now, whether there was some overlap, I don't know. But I'm just gonna throw some theories, like I said. He moved on. You were still caught up. And it's not uncommon. It happened to me sometimes. It happened to girlfriends that I know. And while I don't know the gravity of their situation or relationship if they had one, there is definitely there would have been accountability on both sides. But more so on hers, given the choice that she made. I live in the real world. Therefore, this podcast lives in the real world. There's some spiteful, bitter folks out here that use their children as pawns for attention, for gratification, for lickbacks, and it'll go so far as to, it's clear that it's not even about getting, the day and the time and the haircut itself or getting new clothes for the kids. It's all about power and control sometimes. And I don't know, maybe during the course of the investigation, they will get over to the father of both the kids and get some details as to what kind of communication was had, how toxic the relationship was, trying to get a clue as to the factors that led up to this woman doing this with her kids. Because there has to be a little bit more to it leading up to her deciding to do that. And not just simply because he didn't want to be with her. Like, What else happened? What more was said? How long had it been going on like this? Things like that. But I think one of the round table conversations people should be having amongst friends, amongst family, especially amongst their significant others or anybody they're in a relationship with, is this kind of shit that leads to choices of instability. Like, we have for so long steered so far and away from the kids come first. What about the kids? We've been long gone away from No Child Left Behind. There was somebody on Twitter talking about three twins. Bitch, you mean triplets? But I digress. You know, we're well away from the era of Dare. I'm a proud Dare kid. Keep away from me with this, Apollo with all this, whatever you got going on. But yeah, like, we gotta bring that shit back. Like, I don't know if CPS doing random check-ins was a thing back in the day, but it's okay to bring that back if it was a thing. You know, wellness checks for single mothers, a support system for single mothers. Because it's too many incidences of parents offing their kids in front of exes and former wives and significant others for us to be like, look, clearly somebody dropped the ball somewhere. And now there are no kids that probably had no clue what was in store for them. She probably did it after they were asleep. You know what? Let me stop. So, protect women, particularly black women. Tell the truth the first time. That way, you ain't got to worry about revisiting it and remembering shit. And fuck the haters. This is Mr. Foxy I Refuse podcast. Hope you had a great time like I did. You know, I'm back. I Refuse Podcast Season 6 available everywhere, as well as the previous 5 seasons, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, there's a YouTube channel here, I Refuse Podcast. Follow the Twitter at I Refuse Podcast, all one word. Instagram at I Refuse Podcast, _ between the words. Usual Suspects Podcast, I Refuse Podcast After Dark if you feel ever so inclined. And I will catch you guys and girls later. Peace. Fendi, like the bag.